It is time for whiskey. Wednesday. Welcome back. Can't believe it's Wednesday already. A little bit earlier than last week. And we're going to crack it off with the... Still got some left, which is really cool. Listen to this. Beautiful sound. Get that glass filled up. Oh, lovely. Super duper. It's a bit of a bad influence, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Promoting having a whiskey on a Wednesday, on a video, to whoever's watching. Anyway, cheers, guys. Here's to a good one. Well, it's a bit of an interesting concept for me this week because I have no idea always. I have so much going through my head during the week with what I'm doing, with what's going on, what I'm learning, what I'm not learning, what I'm getting right, what I'm getting wrong. I've always got the best intentions and think, oh yeah, I must talk about that on Whiskey Wednesday. I must talk about that on Whiskey Wednesday. I must talk about this on Whiskey Wednesday. And then it comes to Whiskey Wednesday and I get all busy. I've had a busy day today. And then all that stuff, it just goes away. And I think always, it's really funny actually, before I start my Whiskey Wednesday, I always get in a bit of a pickle, purely because I think I'm overthinking so much stuff, thinking, oh, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. And in the end, I just let it roll off the old tongue. Sounds good, doesn't it? I'm not quite sure about that. So, yes, here we go. Let's go for it. Welcome to the channel, guys. So, welcome. What was that? There's a bit of a strange noise in my studio. And Stephen's just texted me. Cool. So, what's been going on? It has gone so quickly. I cannot believe how time seems to just rush by. It only seems like 5 minutes ago I did my last Whiskey Wednesday. It's crazy, guys. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's all just flashing by so quickly. But what's gone on? What have I been doing other than work, which is normal, just like most of you guys out there? Now, Stack Chat, the Stack Collector. What a fantastic Saturday Stack Chat that was. That was the first time I actually probably watched most of it on Saturday night. I was very curious. You had Dan on from Cardiff Gold, which was really interesting. I personally think, a Stack Collector knows this, but I personally think that was probably one of his best Stack Chats going. It was really interesting from my point of view, only my point of view, because I know we're all different. What we like from different channels varies, obviously, but yeah, I found it brilliant. It was so cool to listen to somebody that runs a bullion coin shop, online dealer type thing. It was interesting to just to know a little bit more about them, what they're doing, their outlooks on different bits and pieces. And I think the Stack Collector done a wonderful job hosting that one. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Some very interesting. There was a couple of things I wanted to ask, and it's like along the lines of, you know, how's your KYC? You're going to introduce Bitcoin or crypto as methods of payment, which I found interesting on the responses that I got. yeah, it was yeah. I don't know what else to say. That yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you, the Stack Collector, for putting that one on. You're doing an awesome job, dude. I believe I'm actually coming back and coming back on in a few weeks' time, which I'm really looking forward to. That'd be awesome. You're doing a fantastic job. I love what you're doing. I'm dead jealous. I wish I was a bit more tech savvy to be able to do that. Maybe in time I will get around to doing that. But no, I hats off to you. You're obviously working hard, and you're producing. I would say every week it's just getting better. The production of it is getting better and better and better, and yeah, it makes. I'm quite a big critic of things. Not that that's got anything to do with anyone, but yeah, it's really cool, and I'm beginning to look forward to those every week. So yeah, well done, dude. Hats off to you, big time. So that was really cool. I just want to say a special cheers to Shiny Precious Metals. He's been a bit quiet on YouTube lately, but I did manage to get a message out to him, and just to make sure he's okay. Part of this community thing that I believe in, and yeah, apparently he's okay, which is really good. Just busy. Everyone's busy, you know. Everyone's got their own shit to deal with, their own lives and whatever. And sometimes it means you can do stuff. Sometimes it means you can't. But the important thing is he's healthy and well. Cobra's been a bit quiet lately, but I'm sure I'll be back at full steam ahead very soon. Looking forward to his next auction, which will be really cool. Camel Finance, yeah, he's banging out. Congratulations, mate, on my Whiskey Wednesday. I want to just say congratulations. You hit that 5,000 sub mark, which, to all intents and purposes, a lot of you YouTubers seem to go for these big milestones in subscribers. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool that you achieved that. A little bit poorly today, mate, I know, but I wish you better there. 365, he's at 365. He's not only is 365 a massive influence. I've never hidden this about 365. He's been a massive influence on my YouTube journey. What he's doing is unbelievable. He believes. What I like about 365, what am I trying to say here, is that his determination to improve and do the best that he thinks is right for him and his family. And I think that, to me, that comes over so much in what he's trying to achieve, which is fantastic. Yeah, it doesn't. Some of the stuff I watch, not just on 365's channel, doesn't exactly turn me on personally. But I never stop watching quietly in the shadows, learning about what people are doing and why they're doing it, and trying to fathom out why they're doing it, because I think that really helps me in my journey. So yeah, 365, mate, keep doing what you're doing. It's really super cool. You've always supported my channel. I would never not support yours, ever, really, to be fair, which is really cool. Addicted to Precious Metals, yeah, thanks for the chat the other day, mate, in the on the old what was it, on WhatsApp. Yeah, I'm pleased you're okay, mate. You're grinding out. It sounds good. We was talking about maybe trying to do a bigger Zoom call. I've done a few Zoom calls with a few people, and I think we was talking about it'd be really cool just to talk shit and have a drink and have a bit of a social Zoom call with a few other creators. So yeah, I'm trying to sort that one out, which is going to be, yeah, be a laugh, be good. But wish you well. Jim, you might have seen a couple of videos lately. Jim from Australia sent me that beautiful piece over the back here, which I did a video on. I really thank you. I thank every cloud. I think so many people bother, Seawas Sterling, bother to make comments on my videos, and that's really cool. I'm trying to keep up with those replies now. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you're all well. It seems a little bit quiet out there at the moment from a video content point of view. There's a couple of reasons. Maybe that's why. I think maybe we're all starting to feel the pinch. I'll talk about this in a minute. I think everyone is starting to feel the pinch of the economic issues, especially what we've got in the UK, but that's the same around the world. Sentiment and emotion seems to be very up and down, and it's hard to stay motivated, very hard to stay motivated. So, you know, I get it. I really do get it. But it's down to us to, you know, just carry on that communication. I'm sure things will sort themselves out going forward at some point. Now, one of the people I really wanted to mention that I don't mention a lot of, and that is GTS. Don't know a lot about this creator other than his videos pop up, and obviously he posts quite regularly. His videos pop up on my feed quite often. I'm going to be the first to admit I don't watch them all, but every now and then I do watch them. Now, what I love, absolutely love, about what he's doing on his channel is he's not only extremely enthusiastic about what he's doing in his collecting and stacking, but he's showing off. His latest video the other day, he was showing some premium pieces. He put a really funny. His sense of humour is great, which always makes me chuckle. Reminds me of back in the day. But his sense of humour is great, and he put a thumbnail up saying about while his wife was out, he's going to play with something, and yeah, it just made me chuckle. Anyway, so his sense of humour is great. But he got out quite a few of what he was saying were his premium pieces, and when I was watching it, I was thinking most of them were coloured or gilded silver coins, and I just sat there and I thought, wow, this type of what's the word I'm saying? This type of innovation is really taking hold, and he showed that sort of innovation in silver off brilliantly, and I loved it. I absolutely really enjoyed that video. So well done, GTS. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. And what I love personally is that you're starting to get people pushing the barriers. You're starting to getting people pushing. Not only does Cobra Stacker do it, but obviously GTS does it as well, and probably goes well. For me, it's been a little bit unnoticed, but I want to give him credit on tonight's Whiskey Wednesday, because he obviously believes in something. He's working hard at it. It comes across that way. Is it my kettle of fish? No, I'm a bit old in the tooth for a lot of this younger stuff. But what I admire about what he's doing is he's pushing the barriers, and that, I think, wins the day every time. So well done, dude. Keep pushing those barriers, keep experimenting, keep showing us some stuff out there that probably isn't promoted as much, but you're definitely promoting it, and yeah, it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. You're on that forefront, and I just want to say, I wish you well there, buddy. It's very refreshing to see a different concept in creating and what's being pushed. So cheers. Bloody hell, blew some smoke up your arse tonight. But much deserved, much deserved. It's really cool, and that's my learning. This is why I learn. You know, I don't have to I don't have to admire, not admire, admire's the wrong word. I don't have to, oh, that's the best thing since sliced bread. What I have to admire is and understand is how trends are changing and how they're being pushed, and I can't ignore that from an investment point of view. It's really important, really important. And you've got guys like GTS that are doing that, and that's important to know and observe, and he's doing a fantastic, great job with that. Really is. So creative, mate. I thought 365 used to be really sort of push me for my creativity, but since I've watched your channel a few times recently, yeah, you're pushing that barrier. You're really pushing that barrier in a very, I don't want to say youthful way, but in a very understanding of the times way, if that even makes sense. But no, credit, dude, credit. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass anymore. You've had more than 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, but yeah, well done. Keep it going. Which brings me on to another subject which is quite poignant at this moment in time, and that is patience, sentiment, emotion in this industry that we're in, in the sign of the times of what's happening. Now, apparently, we are going into recession in the UK. Apparently. I don't know who you believe when people tell you that. But I think if anyone's educated themselves on the financial institution, no one should be surprised by that. What does that mean? I have no idea what that's going to mean, because I think recession probably will be so personal to everybody, and the outcomes of recessional circumstances on the economics of our country or wherever you live are very different, but the effects of it are the same. The markets, not that I know that much about anything really, but I do try my hardest to try and educate myself on a daily basis amongst being everything else I try to be. I try and spend that time, and it seems to me that everyone's just getting like there's so many ups and downs. There's a lot of negative messaging out there. There's a lot of positive messaging out there. There's a lot of bullshit out there. There's still the this is going to go to this is going to go to that. We're going to have a collapse. We're going to have that. It's such a minefield, which for the viewer, I know I go on about education. For anyone that's trying to educate themselves on what the friggin' hell's possibly going on, it must be really difficult, and that in turn will affect our sentiment and emotion on what we're trying to achieve from an investment point of view. And that's an important thing to understand about ourselves. Really, it's very important for me to understand it. Because we've all got a plan. Hopefully, we've all got a plan. We've all got a strategy. God, what a beautiful sound. Cheers, 365. We've all got a strategy. We've all got beliefs. We've all got understandings. We've all got our own education. We've all got our own way of doing things. But when times get tough, it questions our beliefs, our sentiment. It questions everything. Slowly but surely, whatever financial situation you're in, then if you're a father or a mother and you've got the pressure of being a father or mother and bringing in money, and there's a lot of doubt that can come into your mind whether you're doing the right thing, wrong thing. Should I still be investing this little bit of money or a lot of money in silver, gold, stocks, shares, crypto, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. There's going to be a lot of influence in your mind, and there's going to be a lot of noise, and then wrap that up into the many other people that might portray themselves as being positive or negative or whatever on the internet. They're all living the same thing, and sometimes that can't help you personally. So I have to personally just remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. Hopefully I've done the work, and there's a interesting word that I'm going to introduce to Whiskey Wednesday, and that's belief. If you're categorically trying to do the work, doing the work, trying to educate yourself, trying to take a neutral, unopinioned version of what everyone's feeding you and coming up with the best logical conclusion that you can make of what you need to do going forward. Jesus, I can get so lost on some of these words I put together. You've got to be careful. You've got to test yourself. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to do what you think is best for you and your circumstances, and keep believing. Just believe, because you'll soon find out. You'll find out in time. Time will tell you whether you've done the right thing or wrong thing, and then you can learn from that and then move forward. But I personally, with all the information that I look around, I follow a lot of people. Sorry, no, I don't. I follow a few people. I used to follow a lot of people, but I follow a few people. But I'm even starting to pick up the doubt coming across in their videos, and that doubt isn't a negative thing, as in, like, I'm going to slag them off. Oh, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So that's bollocks. I don't believe in that. The doubt, when I mean doubt, you just pick up that the pressure's on, The pressure's on out there, and it's going to get more and more pressure, more and more pressure, more and more as our mortgages go up, as our bills go up, as our general cost of living starts to really, really, really squeeze us all down. There's going to be doubt coming out. There's going to be people get a little bit desperate. There are going to be people that are doing stuff, and so you've got to navigate your way through that. Pardon me. Maybe I've got this all wrong. Maybe I'm not. I'm just being too negative, but somehow, if I'm very reasonably sitting there with myself, being honest with myself, I don't think I'm being overly negative, and I don't think I'm being overly positive. I'm just being overly real with myself. So you need to be careful. Just be careful. Just try and read between the lines. That's all I can say, really. It's going to get tough. Now, the only way it's not going to get tough is if somehow someone waves a magic wand somewhere and makes the big money bubble come back. But there's no signs of that big money bubble coming back that I can see. Let me know. Write in the comments where this big money bubble's coming back. Or, we've got an election year in the UK. I know we have in the US. So maybe lots of people talk about, oh crikey, well, they're just going to print a load of money and they're not going to let anything fail. Well, just be prepared if it does. If you're prepared for if anything fails, if there's a major banking crisis, what's the outcome going to be? They're the things that you should be aware of more than anything. Now, I was having a really good chat with my local coin shop today. I actually popped into there because I was working close by. I had to get my wife a birthday card. It's a lovely birthday Friday. And while I was there, I thought, I'll just pop in, see if they've got anything reasonable. And I managed to pick up a couple of bits of gold, which was really cool. But I was having a chat with him in there, and it was really interesting. The conversation we had, very interesting indeed. But it's even the dealers are feeling the squeeze. But I walked out of there and I thought, I won't go into the conversation, it's going to be boring. But I walked out and I thought, are you telling me what I want to hear? Or you're not telling me what I want to hear? Or am I... it's really, really difficult to sort of draw the line between, are people just telling you this stuff just so you feel sorry for them and maybe you might purchase a little bit more from them, or have they got a legitimate reason to say the stuff they mean and say? But yeah, it's fascinating. It was a very fascinating visit, to say the least. So let's talk about. What I'm going to do is share my thoughts going forward. At this moment in time, they change. My thought processes change so much. I fundamentally am still happy with my core base portfolio. Stocks and shares, good. Yeah, we'd all love them to keep going up, but in true reality, they don't always keep going up. My thoughts on my stocks and shares portfolio are that I'm happy with what I've got, what I've invested in, where they are. I've got a very interesting conversation with my accountant in next week, actually, next Tuesday, I believe. And we're going to go through exactly an exit strategy from a tax point of view, because I need to know what that exit strategy will mean to me, from how much. If I need to move stuff around, convert stuff from one thing to another, I need to know how that works, because I'm a firm believer in, you work hard, you pay your taxes, you do what you need to do, and you keep everything within the realms of the legal setup of how we live our lives. So the stocks and shares, yeah, that's an interesting one really, because getting back to the sentiment thing, if you watch the market at the moment, it's so easy to start getting worried. But I had to remind myself during the day today that why should I be worried? Because at the end of the day, I think I've positioned myself where I'm not going to be arrogant and say, well, I can afford to lose everything. Well, I definitely don't want to. And I think I hear a lot of people turn around and say, well, you should only invest what you can afford to lose. Well, that's great if you're in an ideal situation where you've got quite a bit of excess money that you can afford to lose. But I don't believe most people have. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some people like to admit it. Some people don't like to admit that. But I think in true reality, with everyone I know in my social and social circle and my work social, I don't think that many people have got that much money that they can afford to lose. So I think sometimes that can be a bit of a throwaway comment without really understanding what someone's saying when they say that. But that said, the logic behind it all is yeah, definitely you've got, if you are really, really just going to gamble, then yeah, you've got to be prepared to just lose it. But I'm not. I really don't want to lose it. Pardon me. But hopefully, if I'm doing my apprenticeship properly, then I'm quite happily and prepared and know that there's going to be winners and losers, which comes down to that diversification. So yeah, my stocks and shares, yeah, they're okay. They're all right. I'm quite happy with where they are. My Bitcoin portfolio, yeah, that can be a little bit nervy sometimes. But again, I'm going to use that word, I've got a ton of belief in what I've done with that. And so far, so good. For argument's sake, I know it's took a bit of a dip today, but then if you look across the market, most things have took a bit of a dip today. It's standing up well. It seems to, the ETFs seems to be a big want from the institutional point of view. So I'm pleased that I am in there at an early stage and possibly front running that. So that's a good bet, I believe. Am I naive enough to say it could all fail? Yeah, but hopefully I've thanks to Camel Finance and what I've learnt from his channel, then hopefully I've learnt how to use risk as far as that's concerned. So, but that's doing okay. The giveaway, the 500 giveaway, I think the last time, it doesn't include today's drop of a couple of percent, but I think that was 85% since I put in the £100 back in October of last year. So that was at 185 quid. So that's still going strong, which is really cool, and that's going to be something nice for someone to win. So yeah, my Bitcoin's doing okay. Gold and silver. This is an interesting one for me. Gold and silver is always going to. You've probably watched some of my content and thought all I do is slag off silver, St. Ron. Well, I slag it off from a logical point of view, but I don't. That, as I always say, it doesn't mean to say I don't like it. And I'm watching silver and gold very closely at the moment because I still think that's got a major part to play going forward. Now, when I say that, then some people might be watching this and going, oh, that's really cool. Well, if that's the case, then you've put too many eggs in one basket. And I've learnt that one. When I listen or I educate myself or I understand something or something makes sense to me, I think that, well, okay, well, I've got a piece of that. But that's not part of my whole portfolio. But I've got a piece of it. So it's managing that risk. But I am keeping a very close eye on it. I don't know why, but through conversation and education lately, I cannot let go of how important probably gold is to a portfolio. Now, I always used to think gold was more important than silver, and I still think that, but there's different case scenarios. If you just look at it as maybe protecting your wealth, well, then yeah, maybe if you look at volatility, gold has got a very, it's got a, if I like to explain it as like a wave on a graph. Not only is it going upwards, but I want to address that in a minute. Not only is it going upwards, but the waves of volatility are far shallower than silver. So that makes that a more viable concept to protecting wealth. But I will go back to last Whiskey Wednesday. I know it's going up, but you've got to factor in and educate yourself on inflation and money debasement. You really have. If unless you're spending millions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds on gold, your returns, on potential. I don't know. I'm probably talking out of turn, really, but your potential returns as an investment aren't as great. They really aren't as great. But from what I can see, and this is all my personal, I don't know. I'll always keep saying it. I know, absolutely frugal, but what I can work out in my own head from evidence and historical record, unless you're in a part of a year or two where it's just for some reason just goes crazy, you're not going to make an awful amount of money, but you will protect that wealth, which is really cool. Now, silver, I've done a bit of a deep dive on it lately. and I'm pleased that I have it. Is it going to make me rich? Is it going to fulfill my monetary requirements in this day and age? It's a very good question, but I don't think it will for me personally. But it's an interesting thing that I for some reason, I always follow my instinct and follow my gut sometimes. And I have a tendency not to just flav it off to one side. But when I get like that little gut feeling to just look a little bit deeper into something, then I do. And I've done that over the last week with silver. And I've tried to avoid being influenced by influencers on social media's bullshit reasons why they post so much bollocks about it, good and bad, and try to look at it from my own perspective. And from a positive point of view, I cannot see the reason why I wouldn't want it as part of my portfolio. I still think it has a key. From a gut feeling point of view, I think I would be absolutely annoyed with myself if there come a time when potentially we had that massive uptick, or even like when I say massive uptick, even if it's 10%, 20%, I would be extremely annoyed with myself that I haven't got it in my portfolio. Would I rely on it to make a big change in my life? No, I wouldn't. There's far greater things that I think that I can do personally to make a difference to my life. But would I regret it if I didn't have it as part of my portfolio? Yes, indeed. I think possibly silver, and please guys, do not take this out as a yes, this is the way to go, because trust me, it probably isn't. It is, it for me, I see it as I am super pleased that I'm not over invested in silver, but I am invested in it. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Yes, an interesting thing, and I think the closer that I see us going into times where there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, then silver will play an important part of just retaining some wealth in it. That said, I watched a video the other day. I'm not going to say who it was, but they've been quite outspoken in their videos about the overrated side of silver, and they've just all of a sudden turned on a pinnacle, just on a dime, and it fascinated me to think, why have you just done that? And it almost went from a negative sign of silver to a positive sign of silver. Now, that could be down to clickbait, that could be down to views, that could be down to that person's influence of what they're trying to achieve from their channel. But that made me think about not just the negative side of silver, but the possible positive side of having it in your portfolio. How you proportion all of your portfolio, guys, is up to you, obviously. But for me, it's really interesting. I'm so learning, and this is what I mean by I don't worry about changing my mind, because none of us know. One of the worst things you can do is marry an idea and just stick to it and never change. But I am personally pleased that I still hold silver, and I've still got it in my portfolio. It is a hedge. It's a hedge, but the hedge is a percentage of what you think that hedge is. Now, you can think that's, you could spend £1,000 and think, yeah, I'm going to hedge that and get 20% back, 30% back, 1,000% back, 100% back, I don't know. But, for me, I just look at it and think, okay, if that part of my portfolio produces at some point something positive, in times when it needs to be positive, then great. I'm pleased I've got it in my portfolio. So that's the message, really. I'm a bit waffling away with that one. So that's super cool. So yeah, that's me, my baseline portfolio. I have other physical assets which I've mentioned before. They all seem to be doing okay. It's interesting times. It's really interesting times watching what's going on. When you're involved with this whole marketplace of investment, it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. What really makes me laugh is how everyone seems to think that that's terrible. Not everyone seems to think this. It comes across as most people, when you start talking about a subject that people are quite confident and married to, they're so married to it. It's unbelievable. And I don't know about anyone else out there, but I so see that this and I'll always say it, this Monopoly board, chessboard scenario is so evident out there. 365's corner's still there. It's so evident out there, and the more I'm learning and the more I'm trying to understand, the more I am understanding from a logical sense point of view is, and I will say it time and time again, I will never have an influence, a major influence on the overall financial marketplace out there. It's far too bigger than me. It's far too bigger than probably all of you. It really is. When you're investing, when I'm investing, not you guys do whatever. I fundamentally realise that marketplace out there is, I'm not in control of it whatsoever. It's a greater thing than I will ever be, and the great wizardry around this trading, investing, marketing is to try and be that person that sits there and shuts the fuck up sometimes and observes what's really going on. One of the greatest things that I believe that will help anybody is that if we go out there in pleb town, peasant town, our town, my town, which is pleb and peasant town, and actually look at what the hell's going on, and that would give you a damn good idea of what your so-called economy is actually doing. It really will. It doesn't matter what an influencer may say is happening. Well, it does matter, obviously, and I'm included on that. But in true reality, it doesn't matter what anyone's telling you or what you're reading. It doesn't matter what some crazy rich boomer who's written a novel and a book and said how wonderful and how easy it is to make money, and this is what you got to do, which I see lots of influencers quoting other people's work, which I sit there and think, what the friggin' hell are you doing? Just tell me about you, not what other people have done. That's a sidestep. But in true reality is, if you want to learn about economical restraints and what's really going on in the world, is go for a walk through your town. Talk to people. And most of all, listen to people. They will tell you, most of all, for free. They will give you free educational information and advice quite openly, especially when they're feeling really shit. They'll let you know how the economy's doing. They'll let you know if they're getting the money that the government's promising to trickle down. They'll let you know what they're doing. And then you'll get a bloody good idea of whether you're investing in the right place or not. That helps. That really helps. Because that's real. And that's what the industry is about. It's about being real, not the fake shit and information that you're getting out there. So, yeah, that's how I find that a challenge. I find that trying to decipher that information for myself personally is a challenge, but you can't do it in 5 minutes. You really can't. There is no magic wand. But yeah, that's a great message. My customers, what they ask me, what they tell me, just walking through the town where I was today, seeing there's more and more people out in the streets drinking out of cans. Yeah, it's looking fucking in some. I mean, I'm very lucky to be living where I'm living. But even the so-called nice towns are reminding me of, Jesus, proper poverty's coming back, proper frustrations coming back, proper people not feeling very good about themselves is coming back. It's that's a construct of how our economy's going. Because it's out in the open, it's not hidden away in the shadows anymore. So that should give you an idea of, oh shit, something's failing here, something's happening. Where's the money? Is there any money? Where's the money going? Where are people with money? Where they invest in it? Where can I protect my money? Because I've worked friggin' hard. You know? They're all the questions you need to ask. Interesting. I know it's not, and I really, well, do I apologise? No, I fucking don't apologise. The whole point of having a channel, my channel, is to express myself. I'm not interested in it if anyone likes it or doesn't like it. What would be really cool is if I put it out there in the universe, then maybe it helps someone else. Maybe it just helps one person out of those 262 subscribers, that probably only half of those actually watch what I do. If I'm lucky. If only one of those people can better their lives from a financial point of view, I've done my job, which is superb. I hear so many, I get told off really, oh, you're a bit too negative on your channel. Really? I think that negativity is a positive thing, because I'm not hiding nothing, for God's sake, you know? Yeah, if you want positivity, go to a show. Go to a, I don't know, watch a YouTube channel that'll tell you a load of shit. Or maybe not a load of shit. Tell you how you're going to be wonderful. But what makes you wonderful is you. Not someone else telling you how to do it, it's you. Every time. So there we go, Whiskey Wednesday. I don't think I swore too much. I think that was pretty good. Be careful out there. Keep doing what you're doing. I believe, I'm just going to quickly talk about Stephen. Stephen's, he messaged out on a couple of videos that he was trying to sell some of his silver, because he had a few issues that he needed to sort out. And I messaged him the other day and he said, yeah, all good, going okay. So, yeah, that's really cool that the community is supporting him and he's doing okay, hopefully. That's, you know, that's just as important as all the other bollocks that I've been going on about tonight. You know, that we all help each other. That's what community is all about. So, yeah, Stephen, if you watch this, I hope you're okay, mate. I hope you're going, you're achieving what you need to achieve. If you've got anything else you need to sell, mate, then let me know. Let me know in the comments where you know, if you're posting that stuff, because I know you got some interesting stuff. And yeah, I wish you well, dude. I really do. I really do. Anyway, I'm tired. Hopefully that hasn't been too much of a ramble. I generally do not want to It's really funny because I never know how to do Whiskey Wednesday. I just run it off the top of my head. And I just really want it to be. I haven't had that much whiskey actually, only a glass and a bit. So it's not overly influenced by alcohol. But that said, I really just want to express myself and let everyone out there know that you're not on your own. We are going through changes. Don't be fooled. Educate yourself. And don't fall for no fools. Don't be silly. Be silly. Do what the fuck you like, obviously. I swore. But no, seriously. Look after yourselves. Look after your families. Reach out. Don't be lonely. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Love you lots. Bye.